أشرقت نفسي بنور من فؤادي حينما رددت.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. Today we'll discuss some issues of tayammum, what tayammum is, when it can be used, etc. etc. Now, tayammum is obviously using the earth or using dust, etc. to perform wudu or perform ghusl when you don't have water or in the absence of water or for some ailment, etc. etc. So inshallah we'll talk about that today. Now, in which cases is tayammum actually permissible? Because first we need to see who is actually eligible to perform tayammum. Before going into the facts of how tayammum is performed, etc., etc., we need to see whether you are actually eligible to perform tayammum. Because I've been with people, and you're walking through a field, and you know at the end of the field there's a tap and you can get some water, and they say walking down there takes too long, we'll just perform tayammum here. No, you cannot do tayammum like this. So, in which case are you actually eligible to perform tayammum? The first of these is that water is not available to you within a radius of 1.7 kilometers. So you know within 1.7 kilometers there is no water. In this case you can perform tayammum. The second case is where you know there is water within 1.7 kilometers. However, next to the water, next to the pond, next to the stream, there's an animal, there's a snake, there's a lion, there's a dog, which may harm you, and you're scared of it. In that case, you don't have to approach the water. Allah has allowed you to perform tayammum. The mercy of Allah extends so far that if you have water with you, but that water, if you use it for wudu, you will not have any water left to drink. Allah has allowed you to perform tayammum. So if you have water on you, but this water, if you drink it, you will not have any water left to quench your thirst, then you can perform tayammum. Or you have reached a well. Okay? You have reached a well. And in this well you have no rope, you have no bucket in which you can fetch the water with. Hence, you can perform tayammum. If you know by your own experience or from the recommendation of a capable doctor that using water will be hazardous, will be harmful to you, then again you can perform tayammum. That is the mercy of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So if you've got eczema, for example, you've got a rash on your skin, and every time you touch water, it gets worse. You can't do it. Allah has allowed you to perform tayammum. As well as that, if you're poor, and water is being sold, it's so expensive, you cannot afford this, Allah has allowed you to perform tayammum. Subhanallah. If you are at a place where there's no water, but you can estimate and you think within about a radius of a mile there should be some water, or somebody tells you that there is some water around within about a mile, then you cannot do tayammum. You must go get the water and come back and perform wudu. Okay? But however, it is not necessary to fetch the water if there is no trace of water, there is no one present to give you the information regarding the water, or you believe that the water is beyond a distance of 1 mile or more. Hence, tayammum will now be permissible for wudu. Okay? Now, how does tayammum actually occur? Now, there are 3 fara'id of tayammum. They all have to be completed. You miss out one fara'id of tayammum, your tayammum is incomplete. The first fara'id of tayammum, the first fard of tayammum is to make the niyyah. To make the niyyah, oh Allah, I'm making tayammum for ghusl. Oh Allah, I'm making tayammum for wudu. Make your intention. That's your first fard. The second is to strike both hands on the earth like this and rub them all over your face. Make sure you cover the entirety of your face, from your hairline on the top of your forehead to the bottom of your chin, from one earlobe to the other earlobe. Make sure you get your whole face done. If you miss out one hair, wallahi, your tayammum is not done. Your tayammum is not complete. Third and finally, strike both hands back onto the earth and rub your forearms, including your elbows. So rub both your forearms, including your elbows. Okay, so your elbows must be included in this. So obviously you get your left hand and obviously you go over your right hand first, then get your right hand and complete the left hand. Okay, and you must include the elbow within this. You do not include the elbow, again your tayammum is not complete. Then you must also do khilal of your fingers. Okay, khilal of your fingers, like so. If you're wearing a ring, remove the ring. Remove the ring. If you can't remove the ring, then at least kind of twist the ring, revolve it, so you can get the sand or the earth or the dust, whatever it is, underneath the ring, and so your tayammum is complete. It's also sunnah to do khilal of your beard as well. Okay? So that was also a sunnah act of tayammum. Now this is how your tayammum is done. This is how simple it is. This is the mercy of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. He has allowed you to perform tayammum. Now, you can do tayammum for both wudu and you can do tayammum for both ghusl. Now, which are the items which tayammum is permitted? Now, you can't do tayammum on everything, remember. Okay? So you can do tayammum on pure earth. Pure earth. Clean. Second is sand. Third, stone. Fourth, limestone. Fifth is kind of baked pots. You know, the little mud pots that you get. Sixth is walls made out of mud, or stones made out of mud, or kind of bricked walls. Okay? So you got walls of mud, walls made out of stone, or walls made out of brick. Then seventhly, you have clay. You can use clay. And you can use all items which have a thick layer of dust on them. However, even though they've got a thick layer of dust on them, there are some items of which tayammum is not allowed. The first of these is wood, then metal, glass, food items, and any item which can burn to ash, which can rot, or which can melt. Okay? So any item which will, when you burn it, it will burn to an ash. Or when you leave it, it will rot, or it will melt when you burn it. On these items, Allah has forbidden you to do tayammum. So what are these things? Wood, not allowed. Metal, not allowed. Glass, not allowed. Food items, not allowed. All items which burn to ash, rot or melt, it is not allowed. Okay. So you can do tayammum obviously for any salah. Tayammum is just like, once you've done tayammum, it's basically like you've done wudu. You can go and read the Quran now. Obviously if you need a ghusl, then your intention must be for ghusl. Okay? If you need a ghusl, you can't just do it for wudu. Okay? Once you've done tayammum and you've prayed your salah, you do not need to redo your salah when you come across some water. No, your salah has been done. The duration of your tayammum is as long as water is not available. Okay? So as long as water is not available, that's how long you can do tayammum for. So in places where there's kind of drought, this can go on for years. The mercy of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Now, which things break tayammum? The things which will break your wudu will also break your tayammum. Okay? A tayammum for ghusl will break only after hadath akbar. Okay? Tayammum done when water is not found will break when you end up finding water. Okay? So if you've done your tayammum because you could not find water, then when you find water, your tayammum has been broken. If you did tayammum because you have a disease or an ailment, when your disease becomes cured, your tayammum breaks. Okay? You can do as many namaz as you want with tayammum. Keep it as long as you want. But remember, anything which breaks your wudu will also break your tayammum. Okay? And that's the simple method of performing tayammum. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
أشرقت نفسي بنور من